Hey, what's going on YouTube? And welcome to another Beige Carpet After Party live stream review. This one coming in hot off of the Black Friday special live stream that was announced just this morning. And so we had to, gather up our guests and get ourselves ready to watch a live stream with less than 24 hours notice so that we could, put this together for you guys so you could walk the beige carpet with us. And here to discuss all the fun things that we just got to witness, we've got Fabz, Sketch, and YinToYang here. I'm gonna let them all say hello in no particular order, and then we're gonna dive right into some questions because we've got a lot to talk about that I think was really, really exciting. So Fabz, why don't you take it away?
All right, hey everybody, Fabz here. Of course, thank you again, Gert, for having me on. I hope everyone's been having a good night, and hopefully we can make this entertaining for you.
Good deal, good deal. And Sketch, say hello.
Hello. On this edition of Streams That Were Better Than Our Anniversary Stream for no reason. Hopefully people are really excited about the stuff we got today.
Hope so. And YinToYang, first time on the beige carpet.
It is my first time on the beige carpet. It's good to be here, and thanks for having me. Quite the stream for me to come on for first time.
Yeah, I think you picked a good one to ask to join in. This was really cool. So let's just dive right into some questions. And my first question for you guys was that tonight's live stream came out of nowhere. When it was announced, what did you initially think that it was going to be about?
I kind of figured right off the bat it would be just a typical live stream for the Clash. I felt it was pretty early though, and I was surprised at them to do like a little hint towards the unit within the news.
Mm-hmm. That weird pink blob with the black swoopy on it. Like, what was that? Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. I figured it's going to be a quick little thing for damage control, then announcing the unit, then they were out. But they actually gave us quite a bit to look at.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it was Black Friday stuff because next week they're going to be off.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, actually.
A lot of people, like, even though they're like Singapore or whatever, like a lot of people that do the stateside of stuff are going to be doing Thanksgiving stuff. Like, we're going to obviously have maintenance and stuff, but like that's a very small amount of people compared to everybody else that's involved with the Square Enix side. So with like Thanksgiving going on, like if we were getting Black Friday stuff, like, I mean, it pretty much had to be today for the stream. I mean, like, they're not going to do the stream and then do another stream later this week or anything.
Yeah.
Except me. Thanksgiving was last month for us here in Canada.
Yes. You got a jump start on us. Hey, by the way, do you eat what do you eat for Canadian Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I still have the same traditional things for Thanksgiving, but since my family's also Italian, sometimes we make lasagna and stuff as well.
Sold. Get me to your house, please.
That sounds good.
I'm inclined to agree.
I don't think you guys want my grandmother's lasagna. We'll ruin all lasagna for you if you have it.
Then I think I
fine, though.
definitely do want your grandmother's lasagna.
I love food.
It's true. It's true. I'm honestly kind of in the same camp. Like when Sketch and I were talking earlier this week about like, what do we think is going to be coming up next week? And like my thought was, well, they haven't announced a live stream, so there's no way it's going to be anything related to Clash of Wills. And then like this morning, it was just like, boom, we're getting a live stream. It was like, well, obviously we're getting some kind of Clash of Wills news. But then I also thought like, Hiroki is going to be on the stream. Like, are they doing like damage control, saving face type stuff too? Like, that's kind of what my initial thoughts were. Yeah, there we are.
Wait a second. I just thought about something. Did they say when we are getting these units?
They did. They announced that they had those on the slides. I'm pretty sure.
The 23rd.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is next week. I was just like, these aren't like secretly like
not
the database, and we're getting them this week, right?
No. Next the 23rd. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
This week is so quiet.
Don't
It's like not even funny how quiet it is.
don't get too excited yet. Here's my second question that I had for you guys. They've been posting a lot of Who's That Unit videos on YouTube and social media lately. Have you guys been playing along with those?
I've seen them, and like I've looked at them like a couple of times, but honestly, for some reasons, and it's probably just the algorithm, they just don't show up very often for me unless I go out of my way to look for them.
Yeah, it's the same for me as well. And honestly, I would like to engage in it more because I'm always curious for new units, especially our global original designs when they're announced.
I haven't even been seeing them. I guess my YouTube overlords decided I didn't need to see it.
Yeah, well, they've been posting it on Facebook and Twitter and stuff too. So like, it's been kind of neat. I've been really impressed with the way they've been like engaging in that a lot more than just like showing like the new CGs like a month or a week late. Like it's just been nice to see them be more active. So kind of cool. Anyways, thank you for your feedback, and we're going to dive right into it. And so, speaking of diving right into it, the very first thing they jumped straight into, and I'm both surprised and happy about this. They started talking about the erroneous mail Lapis situation. They went over very clear details about who is getting what, in what amounts. They did not give clear details about when it's going to happen because they said it's going to require some further investigation and trying to figure out who gets what exactly. But they do give us a lot more information that they're also going to undo the removal and not take anything else away. So, I mean, this has been a really contentious issue for a lot of players. Real quick, do you guys have any thoughts about like their response here, their feedback, the situation as a whole? Like, do you guys have anything that you want to like throw out there or say about this?
I have a little mini rant I could go on about it, so I'll let everyone else go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. Personally, since I missed the emails since I was out cold in bed at the time when they were distributed, personally, obviously it didn't affect me at all, but at the same time, seeing how it went for everyone and how they handled it, while not the best in my opinion, at the same time, at the least they were being very communicative the whole time, like explaining what they were going to do, but at the same time, like, they've been listening to the community feedback of it, which I think is important of them to acknowledge at times. Like, obviously coming through every individual account to handle this will be too time consuming for them professionally, but still, in the end, I think they handled it as best they could, if somewhat sloppily. But
yeah,
what matters is that I think they went in the best direction possible at the end of the road.
Sketch,
Okay,
did you have anything?
I'll jump in here.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can go last.
Okay. So, how do I want to order this? So when it first happened, or as it's going on, my thinking is there's only two things that really matter. It needs to be fair and it needs to be fast. And unfortunately, they gave up the fast part by ignoring it for several days. So that was out of the window. So then they created this issue where the people who got it were using the resources. Now, we can debate all day whether that's right or wrong, fair or not. But the point is, people were able to get things from those resources. So regardless of whether it was justified or not, once you start taking things back from people, you kind of put a sour taste in their mouth. So unfortunately, they kind of tied their hands by dragging their feet on this. So had they just rolled the servers back within an hour or two, they could have been done with this. Nobody cares. We move on. But for stalling so long, there's only two right ways to do it. Either you take everything back from everyone, including units and resources invested and all that, and reimburse and blah, 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 that whole complicated mess, or you give it out to everyone. And as Yin said, to get it right now, they would have to do so much work to go in there and remove every single summon unit and give back awakening. It would just be a mess. So giving it to everyone who didn't claim it before is really the only reasonable way to make things fair. And that's all that matters. It just needs to be fair.
I like it. Sketch?
Agreed.
I think it's fine. I think it's important that they do stuff like this for people that don't use Reddit or Discord a lot, so they have an idea of what's going on. So like, I feel like them laying that out like this is a very professional way of handling it, even though people don't really want to give me any credit right now. Is I feel like having information and like not just Hiroki talking about it, but having it up on the screen is a big deal. You'll reach a more wide variety of audiences, and then like if you miss the stream, obviously this post is going to be on Reddit, going to be on YouTube videos, stuff like that. But I think this is a good way to handle it. I will say that if they had decided to stay how they were going to, it was going to be a royal pain for them. Because when this type of thing happened in War of the Visions, they had to have several maintenances, and that was just for what was effectively Lapis. If they were going to try to do all the materials and stuff too, like there's a good chance they would have to take the game down like literally for a week.
Yeah.
Like we would have a maintenance like every night or something like that, because it's just a lot of programming. It's not a very easy thing to do. So I'm glad they decided on this. It doesn't hold game productivity, and like it makes a lot of the player base happy, right? And it's not like as the company, you obviously want people to spend their resources, so they spend money, right? That's like just how gacha games work. And you just showing off characters that A, people have been asking for, or B, is some people's favorite character, and we're going in the holiday season. The stuff that you're going to be giving them is just going to get spent immediately anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. I think that this is, great. I've been critical of them and their communication in the past, and I think this is a huge step in the right direction to just be out there and be blunt about it, whether it was going to be fair or not. Just coming right out and saying, here's what happened, here's what we're doing, here's what we're not doing, here's exactly how it's going to work. I think this is information that players need just to make them feel comfortable and safe, and want to engage in the game, especially given conversations that I've been hearing from people saying that they're just going to straight up quit if certain outcomes happened. And one or two players might not hurt their bottom line in that way, but like I'm telling you, I was hearing from lots and lots of players that were going to take that action if the wrong thing happened. And so I'm glad to see that they're going this direction. And I think this is one of the most exciting things that's happened in the stream.
I also think like one of the most important things with this live stream is that Hiroki himself had to address the issue. I don't think the same level of professionalism would have came through if it was through Tony or Justin. Like I know there are community representatives, but Hiroki as our global producer had to come on the stream to address the whole situation himself and how it was going to be handled by the team on global end.
I'm glad he did, and I think it was handled really, really well. So cool. The next thing they showed was that they're doing something brand new that they've never done before, which is this like keyword quiz campaign where like they were going to be giving us quizzes, kind of passcodes throughout the stream for you to go and enter this information into a form. Once it was all done, once you had all the codes, and then you could register to try and win a T-shirt. And I've actually, incidentally, it's sitting right here. I've got that T-shirt. It's pretty cool. Definitely try and get your hands on it if you can. Go ahead and enter the passcodes. And in case you missed the passcodes during the event, I'm gonna go ahead and throw them up here for you. We've got number 1 was hidden, number 2 was beneath, and number 3 was the mask. So I just saved you like an hour and a half of having to watch and look for those and comb through the after thing if you have not done it. So you guys had some funny things to say about the keywords, but I wasn't really following. What were you guys saying that you thought it was a reference to?
I said it was a reference to Persona 5 because one of the track names in the game's soundtrack is literally called Hidden Beneath the Mask.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said it was, the hint was it was tied to an event name that we're getting in the game, which I think is, also exciting. But more details on that as we get a little closer to it. But still, I think it's fun that they're trying to add something new to the streams to make it more engaging, to get people to stick around for the whole thing. I think that's a lot of fun. So.
But also, people ask about these shirts all the time.
Mhm.
Where can I buy these shirts? And they're like, well, you can't buy them, but to like giving more ways for people to like have a chance at winning these,
Mhm.
like it won't make everybody happy. Like some people just don't care, right?
Yeah.
But like there are people out there that care about this a lot, so like that's cool.
Yep. I like that they're giving this shirt out. It's awesome.
And when you get to win free merch, like,
Yeah.
I'm sure all of us have won something at some point.
Yep, it's fun. Fun stuff. After that, they started to talk about some campaigns and things. So we are getting a seasonal celebration weekly 14+1. So it's a 15 unit pull with a guaranteed Neo. Updated every week with new units included at the standard drop rates. This starts on the 23rd and goes to January 3rd. So how many weeks is that? That's 1, 2, 4,
Probably
8 weeks, sounds like something like that. Maybe 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. Cool. So some free units limited to once per week. Looks like it says is that a 5% Neo rate or is that a 3%? I think it's a 3%. Let me make it bigger on my screen. Yeah, I think it says a 3%. Okay. Not as exciting as 5%.
it's free.
It's free, exactly. I like that they are adding the new units to the pool.
Mhm.
Very good. They also
Good
add.
chance to,
What was that?
a chance to get more Neos in time for Neo Vision Plus.
Yeah. They talked about the Black Friday login bonus. So we're gonna talk more about this exchange ticket in just a second, but it's an exchange ticket, some the new seasonal Lapis replica, and then 10 Type B 1/10 tickets. So it's a guaranteed Neo, and more. Kind of nice login bonuses. And here's what that exchange ticket is. So it seems like you can exchange that ticket for Lapis replica, which then you can use to convert into all these other different things. I feel like this is unnecessarily complicated though. Like, I don't get this. Why give you the ticket? Why not just give you the Lapis replica? Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
That's what I was thinking. If the ticket is for a set amount, just give us the replica and be done with it.
Yeah. It doesn't. I don't get
What
it.
they said in the live stream, they said if you have multiple copies of the ticket, apparently each ticket you further use is a ramping amount of the replica Lapis. So I'm guessing it goes from like 100, 500, 1,000, 2,000, blah blah blah.
That would make sense.
I was moving between devices, so I must have missed that part.
Yeah, that would make sense because they showed some bundles, right? So they have bundles. This first one here is $100, and it includes 6 of those Lapis replica seasonal exchange tickets, in addition to more Type Bs and pearls and Lapis. 28,000 Lapis, fair amount for $100. They showed that one. They also showed this one, which includes one of those tickets. This is only $30, less Lapis, an NB Select ticket. And then they showed one that I think is exciting for a lot of players, potentially. This one, the Black Friday special, that includes 5,000. It just costs 5,000 Lapis as opposed to being a cash bundle, but includes a guaranteed Neo for 5,000 Lapis, which is pretty decent. As well as one of those exchange tickets. So how do you guys feel about these bundles? Do you feel like any one of them is good, useful, valuable, worth digging into? Any immediate opinions?
My first immediate opinion is I like that this is the first time in our 7 years playing this game
Mm-hmm.
that they put the prices on the fly.
Yes, that was my immediate thought too, that they're showing the prices right here on this stream. We don't have to ask questions about it.
Yeah, that was the first thing that stuck out to my mind because normally they avoid that at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as far as the
Yeah.
bundles themselves go, I mean, if you normally spend, this is aside from the replica exchange tickets, this is kind of run of the mill.
Mm-hmm. I think they're reasonable though, as far as bundles go.
So like, it really depends what you can get with these tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, personal opinion is, and I don't spend, right? Personal opinion, just like cross-referencing numbers, 28 for 100 is the best deal you're getting all year. Because 100's like 18K.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
there's that. That's appealing to people to begin with. It's Black Friday and holiday stuff, and people are getting bonuses. So like, way better and enticing deals will get people to spend. The 5K Lapis bundle, depending on how much like you get, or like the ticket,
Mm-hmm.
it might be must buy. I think. Like let's say that the celebration tickets give, I don't know, 2,500 replica Lapis
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Like, yeah, I would think about it this way. So like, if like you get 2 tickets, so that's 5K, right? So that's like the same thing as you buying 50 shards for a unit, because you know all the unit shards are going to be in the replica Lapis stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have the old bundle back that people really wanted. So like, and you're not spending more. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like,
Assuming that the seasonal Lapis replica has the same types of structure as all the other previous ones.
yeah. We need information, right?
Yeah.
But like on top of that, like, so think of it this way: if it does work out, you'd get 50 shards of your choice and an NV guaranteed 10+1. That
Mm-hmm.
seems worth 5K Lapis to me,
I think
especially with us getting free Lapis at the end of the stream.
yes. Yep. Or, you know, hey, dream big. If you buy the $30 bundle that comes with 5,000 Lapis, then you can just buy the other one too.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think all 3 of these deals are great.
Yeah.
Like, and they normally have like really good deals around Black Friday and Christmas. It's like the 2 big times for deals.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, these don't disappoint if you spend your like the best time to like load up and get your stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So from here though, they took a big turn and we started talking about units. So you know, they showed that preview, the kind of like the black swoopy thing with the pink outline. You know, nobody was really sure what it was. We had a lot of ideas, but none of the guesses I saw came anything close to what we saw next, which was Hyo and Panthera Ultimus, the new global original unit. They also showed, in addition to that, the Solitary Warrior Veritas of the Frost. So there was like a big fire and ice theme going on, you know, throughout a lot of the way things were named and discussed. So what are you guys' immediate thoughts here? Are you more Team Hyo or are you Team Veritas?
I'll go last here. I have a good bit to say.
Yeah, I can imagine
Okay.
you do. I can imagine you do.
So first of all, we're not going to disrespect Hyo of the Delta Star by comparing him to the Frost Lord. All right, Hyo is special.
Mhm.
No, but really, of course, we've all complained about the flood of rains. No pun intended there.
Mm.
However, if we're gonna run more rains, would that be a spoiler for the people who might have just been joining?
I mean, Hiroki spoiled it during the live stream, so there you go.
Oh, okay,
It'll be
good
fine.
point. So if we're
It's
gonna pick a
been
rain, this is the
40
rain I
years.
would want us to get back.
Yeah.
Just as a character, I like Hyo of the Delta Star probably most of season 2.
Yeah. Pretty cool. What about you, YinToYang? Are you more Hyo or are you more Veritas?
I'm honestly half and half because I've been a big fan of Season 1 storyline. I love the Swornate of Palladia, so all the Veritas armors were very cool to me. One of my very first big posts on the Brave XP Reddit was my lore theories on how the Veritas armors function and why they were created specifically for each user. And then Yo of the Delta Star, like, it's an awesome design that they've created through the years. It's iconic. It's the coolest way you can show a transformation of a hero that's often the very idealistic type into a more darker personality. Especially if you know the whole story of Rain's arrival into Palladia.
Plus, now he has a kitty.
Yes, and for the etymology lesson of today, Pantera Ultimus is Latin for final panther.
Like it. I like it. So, Sketch, I'm guessing, given some commentary that you've had for us before, you're probably on Team Veritas of the Frost?
So I like both.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Season 2 is the best part of the entire game to me. That hasn't changed, like, at all. Season 1 and Season 2 were like peak FFBE. Sorry for people that like Season 3. I don't like Season 3 or 4 as much. But, okay. This is my favorite version of Raid. I also wanted more Veritas units. I have asked publicly multiple times that I would like more Veritas units, like single units. I would like them redone. One of the things that I voted for on the unit popularity contest was a new Folka.
Okay.
Like, I want more Veritas units. So this stuff, right up my alley. This actually might be the most exciting celebration that we've had the entire year. Like, as far as like hitting home for me, like, two big deal Season 2 years. I don't know if you guys remember, but there's actually a point in time a long time ago where people were asking for Veritas of the Bold and Veritas of the Frost units. Like, this is before we got like the base Frost lore that we have. Like, they were asking for these units, and then like we slowly got them, like, way too late in my opinion, right? Like, they took like forever to get back to them. But like, them getting upgrades and like a full new unit and it not just being an MVA. I cannot stress how happy I am that these aren't just MVAs.
Yeah.
Like, these are full-blown units. And I know that's not going to be like the best sitting with people because they already have the MVA units. But like, if you're wanting units to be anywhere near close to meta or to be very enjoyable to use in content, you want them to be new. And that's just how it is, right?
That's how it is.
Like, so I am over the moon about this celebration. Really excited we have a better Veritas of the Frost because I don't like the like close to like normal version that we have right now that much. I love Few. I use him for like the longest period of time as my DPS until he finally fell off, which, I mean, like, it's going to happen eventually, right? But the animation's great. Love the Panther. Same reason that I liked our other favorite Dirk Knight and his animal buddy.
Yep.
Like, the sprites are just great. I know plenty of people that have messaged me after the live stream saying that this is a must pull for them. Like, this is really cool. They were all excited about this. I have a friend of mine that's going to get back into the game just because, like, this was literally his favorite part of FFBE. So, like, I don't know how many people that's actually going to stretch out to, but, like, it's cool that there's some amount out there that are, like, that interested. And, like, he's just going to play casually, right? But, like, he stepped away for a while because he really didn't like the unit designs in Season 3. So, like, it's just really cool that we're going back and they're listening to people that it could have easily went, well, we're past that. We're never going to revisit these kind of things ever again. And the fact that they were willing to listen to people that it's been stressed by the community over and over again that, like, Season 2 is it.
Yep.
And the fact that they listened and they I don't know. I really like the designs and stuff. I'm excited, but we'll talk about that more. There's another reason I'm really excited.
Yep. Personally, I'm kind
Building
of.
up on.
What's that?
Go ahead, Gert.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of on the fence, like about whether or not which one I like better. You know, it's like seems like, you know, Hyo is more damage and Veritas is more like breaking and utility and stuff like that. But they talk about some really nice utility that Hyo is bringing to the party as well that I'm really excited about, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. So, I mean, they're both coming out at the same time. You know, it could be expensive for trying to chase after both of them, but they both seem really cool to me. So I could go either
Are they going to
way
share a
here.
banner? You guys think they're going to share a banner?
Oh, well, I don't know about
Oh, I
that.
think they're separate banners.
I bet you it's going to be like last year, like with Nier, how, like, you know, there was one banner where you had a higher rate for A2 and one for 2B.
So
That
do you think it'll
seems
be like the
likely.
same where they have step up like that too? Because they have like small spoiler, they have a card later, right, for both of them.
Mhm.
So do you think they're gonna have a step up that has a rate up for both of them on it, and then they each have an
Ooh.
individual banner?
That is a good question.
The card steps will probably have a rate for both.
Yeah, I would.
'Cause I'm getting that
Yeah.
card. That card is
think-
like
We'll get there.
I'm
We'll get
going
there.
to assume with the step-up banner for the card that the exchange coins will be shared between the two units.
That would be
probably.
nice.
But building on what you said, Sketch, like with how Yo is bringing people back to the game, like I feel like FFBE's been doing that pretty well this year with bringing people back or bringing new people into fold.
Hmm.
Like when we had the IWFabz banner, and I posted about it on Twitter, like that was like one of my first ever hit tweets. Like it blew up to almost 500 or 5,000 views within 48 hours. People being like, "Oh my god, how did they make this happen? Like this can't." I saw several. This can't be real. Especially like with how beloved Parasite Eve is in North America.
Look, y'all, all I'm saying is everybody else sat on the fence. So when your banner comes around, just remember your boy when those drop rates need to hit.
For sure, for sure.
yes.
So let's talk a little bit about each one of these. So they showed, first of all, they showed both sprites for Hyo. So we've got Hyo and Panthera Ultimus, Brave shifting into Ultimate Power Hyo. So it's kind of like a fusion between the two of them, which I think looks really, really cool. I love the oversized claw, like particle effects. Looks really, really cool in my opinion. What do you guys think?
It's like Ifrit Rain on crack.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna say that, like, it's a nice callback to Infernal Fire Rain and how when Rain fuses with Ifrit, the aspect he takes is Ifrit's claw.
Yeah.
Oh man, Rainception. Even Rain has some rain to put in there. This is
Rainception. This was by the way the
Everything
picture
is
that
rain.
they were spoiling. So like if you look at Panthera's tail, that little swoop of his tail right there was the spoiler image that they were showing.
There's
so
no way anybody could have guessed that.
there's no
ever.
way. Yeah.
Hey, I will say
Yeah,
there were
all we
people
got-
that were guessing what if it's a tail, but I was
Mhm.
thinking for a tail like that, it has to be a scorpion or something. So no way.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
definitely
was
not
thinking
what I
it
was
a
thinking.
tail too, but like, I was thinking like, still kind of close to October. Maybe they had another unit planned for Halloween. Like
Yeah.
maybe a demon character.
I don't know. They also gave us some information on his LB. So his limit burst, the standard form is Crimson Ultima, damages all other enemies and other effects, decreases greatsword resistance 35%, fire resistance 150, and attack, magic, defense, and spirit break 87%, 3 turns, all enemies, with a 450x modifier with morale scaling 5 times per 5%. That's the standard form. So he's got morale scaling. Clash of Wheels unit.
Unfortunately, if Yeah, Rascal. So unfortunately, outside of Clash, this could be a problem depending on what innate mob boost he can do, because that would limit him to 450 because preemptive LB won't work.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
some
No, like-
stuff would work though. So like Cool Smile would work, but it's a not the best card ever. It's an option.
Yeah, I mean, technically that does work. I just normally only use that if a unit double dips like a Chisuru.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Something worth noting about this LB, and I saw a lot of people in the live stream message, is like, again, just kind of like getting slightly ahead of where we're at, but I think it's better than coming back to the slide.
Mm-hmm.
His STMR is a claw. People are like, if he lowers Greatsword, it's because his base form probably wants Greatsword and his BS form probably wants Claw.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I need
Plus,
to know more, because if he doesn't have an innate fist imperil, that's going to be annoying.
Wouldn't it be neat though if they went back to original Hyo's STMR and like updated it with like some bonus stats or something like that?
Oh, I would love that.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
That would be awesome, but I feel like we're asking a lot for a weapon upgrade to something that has no innate updates in
Yeah.
any of the upcoming content.
I don't know. It
Still,
could just
like
be cool.
this-
Or maybe the story
This-
event has like a weapon that's special for him or something like that.
Probably. What I like about the Limit Break is that it's also non-elemental from the details, so maybe it'll be imbuable. I wonder if it'll be tag team though, just because of having Pantera Ultimate beside him.
I feel like they would mention that, but I mean, it's possible that it is. Yeah.
They didn't tell us frames. They didn't tell us frames or like anything
Oh,
about the
good point.
BSLB at all.
Yeah. It just says and
So,
other
like,
effects.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
Either
to
way.
be fair, we're getting a ton out of this. So if they add tagging to it, that'd be great. But yeah, I mean, look at 87% full break. You pretty much don't need to worry about making sure Abigail's on top of it. You don't need a dedicated breaker.
Mm-hmm.
You're good to go with just Hyo.
Mm-hmm. For Clash of Wills for sure.
Yeah, really. On top
Super
of the
good.
field that he's gonna have.
Yep, that'll be coming up here in just a second. So let's look at some abilities. He's gonna have Blaze Weapon, 1 use per battle, only in morale content. Adds fire to all allies with a 50% boost for 1 turn, and an additional 25% for the next 2 turns. So we've got rolling fire ramp AOE 1 time per battle in Clash of Wills content. Finally, this exists for fire, anyways. And then they also showed us Daunting Aura, which boosts fire and ice resistance for himself, fills his LB gauge, and activates an area effect, reducing fire at 40% and ice 30% for all enemies. Pretty cool.
So nuts. It's not Clash of Wills locked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
that is
so useful.
very, very useful.
It's basically a better version of Typhus than his base LB.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's
Very-
give and take. You gain 5 fire, lose 5 ice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
but he wants to do fire, so it's all it's all relative.
That's all that matters.
It's all good.
Yeah, if you're bringing him, you're bringing a fire team. You're not bringing a mix and match.
Right. And now, I mean, if you're doing an ice team, though, in Clash of Wills, that could potentially see some use if you didn't have like Elisperis. Doesn't she do ice field? Or
Nope,
is
she only has a dark
She
field.
only has dark. Oh, that's right. She has ice. She has ice something else, but not a field. That's right.
She can imbue herself
Yes.
and imperil ice, but she
Okay.
can't do a field.
No field. So yeah, I mean, there you go.
Yeah,
The
she has a
only
pure
ice and
dark
peril field. So yeah.
I forget. Sorry for like asking you to go back unless you know. Was his LB Firelock?
No, it did not. It was not. It did not say firelocked. No.
So if it's not Firelock, there's no reason that you can't just bring him on an ice team. He's gonna break for you too for Clash of Wills. He's gonna
Mhm.
break. You can get an external ice symbiote, like
Her name is Ayaka. Yeah.
yeah, like stuff like that, right?
Yep.
But like as long as with it not being fire locked and it has morale scaling, like yeah, no, we're good. He's a nice character too in Clash.
Yep.
For like all intents and purposes, because he's not gonna he's obviously not going to have like a 150 amp for ice, right?
Mhm.
You can give him 100% amp and he's still gonna he's probably going to massively out damage all other breakers in Clash of Wills while providing a field.
Yep. Pretty nutty.
This is a time for the Resolute
like
Knight holders to stand up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like our best for fire teams, who is the highest DPS, is Blades of Black Flame Reagan, who literally just got the snuff from this unit. And even though Hyo's break is technically weaker, he's gonna be damaging Reagan by mile.
Yep.
Yes.
They showed us 2 more abilities for Hyo. One is that at EX2, we are getting this equipable ability, Blazing Armor, boosts attack, defense, magic and spirit by 50%, LB damage 50%, fire resistance 50%, and 20% chance of evading physical attacks. Just as a free equipable ability at EX2. Kind of nice. Like they did this with Richt, had something similar, where you got the guiding light ability. Now we're getting blazing armor. Kind of cool. And then they showed us his leader skill. So we've kind of been like poo-pooing leader skills, I feel like, for the last several live streams. How do we feel about this leader skill, Sketch?
Alright, so I was on with Senzar this last week. We were talking about Dragon Quest.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, well, obviously, they can't increase the leader skill on Viren because of Genesis, right? Even though we got Clash of Wills updates. Well, Senzar, how do you feel about a 900% leader skill for Genesis? I'm just going to throw this out there for somebody who has used Genesis and Clash of Wills already.
Mm-hmm.
The man does not need the 150%. He did before. The man does not need the 150% amp to now cap in Clash of Wills with everything turned on. 900% will provide more than enough of the buff to make up for the 150% because you can get 100% external.
Mm-hmm.
So now that he has a 900%, not only is Genesis, like, in my opinion, the best unit for Dark Visions, he might be the best unit for Clash of Wills whenever you are able to use fire, because he's going to cap, which is going to be like a huge deal. Or he's going to get so close to cap, and with the increased cap, he might actually cap.
Yeah.
He's going to deal so much more damage than everybody else. It's going to be crazy. Okay, so it's already crazy that we got a 600% for
right.
Yeah, like it's already crazy that we have a 600% leader skill for Dark Visions, right? Like, I just capped Vision World with a 500%. We have a 600%.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be so much easier for people with lower end gear to cap on. It's like I have Vest and Slot for Genesis, right? Like I have like the improved Dazzling Digmanus and all that, but like 600%, huge deal. Senzar and I were convinced that they were saving this for Locke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he also has fire on his leader skill, so it's going to be actually very interesting to see what they do with. I even went so far as to tell Senzar this last week that I thought Locke's secondary leader skill was going to be Ice because it's Celeste, and they were going to go for a thematic theme.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not going to be Elias, so I hope it's Earth, because that would be such a big deal for my personal account for characters that I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope he gets Earth as a second, but we have a 900% fire leader skill for Genesis. Like, it's just insane. They just don't care. They're just like, whatever. It just doesn't matter anymore at this point.
Mm.
But like, Fire was already the best team. Like, I kind of feel bad because Senzar and I were talking about Vernon, like how this is such a good fire unit. Them giving them Clash of Wills buffs is a big deal. I don't know if he even makes the team now. Like, if you have everything, I don't even know if he makes the team now. He might have even been worth pulling for now. Because, like, you have him, you have Ayabrea, which I think Ayabrea is, like, busted out of her mind because of the utility reasons alone.
Right.
You have Ayabrea, him, you can consider Rain, It's like rain under a 900% is gonna hit really hard. You can consider rain. You have the best tank in the game, Abigail. This guy is gonna also do your breaks. You don't even have to waste a slot on a low DPS breaker anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have Locke very soon. Locke's going to have. They're going to do this for all the premium units. They're not going to stop doing it, right? Locke's going to have one of the highest DPSs in Clash too. Like, I don't even know if Yurn makes a team.
So I guess it's safe to say that you're not that excited about this leader skill. But
This is the coolest thing they could have done.
yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty sweet. I love that they're doing fire, just generic fire, and Clash of Wills fire, Clash of Wills ice, Clash of Wills support. You know, so it's going to cover lots and lots of different kinds of units. Very, very cool. Everybody else agree this is good. We like this.
I'm just glad that not every tag is CW.
Oh,
So
yes.
generic fire already improved it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, generic fire is so good.
yeah, that's my point as well. Like, getting some of the more generic tags, some love, really helps, and I kind of hope they continue it with the future global units they'll be bringing along the way.
Yep. Awesome.
Well, I hope they do this for Christmas. Like, give us like a ice. Like, so we got the ice version. Anyways, you can do a different element for Christmas. Right?
There you go.
Like, that would be cool. Like do this for light for Christmas.
Here's where we were talking about some of the issues, right? So the base form limit burst is great swords, but the STMR is a claw, and it seems pretty good. 236 two-handed attack or two-handed weapon with a bonus 1,000 attack on it, and 50% MP in attack, with killers for demons, humans, and machines. Surprise, that's Clash of Wills. So like obviously he's probably going to cap those very naturally. And his TMR is 50% attack, 100% attack when your weapon is true double hand, and LB damage 50%. How do you guys feel about these?
The TMR is gold. There were people that pulled for a version of that TMR, went all the way up on a step up for it. The TMR is just actual gold.
Yeah. You're talking about all you need is
Good
strength.
DMR.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's a little not as good as all you need is strength, but it's a TMR. You're gonna get multiple copies of this.
I mean, we're back to having weapon SDMR, which, I mean, all of us are 50-50 on.
Yeah.
You love it or you hate it.
Mm-hmm.
In your mood.
It does make sense for him though, but we are stepping also away from true dual wield, so he's not going to have the 8x cap.
Yeah, but
And
normally
I think
depending on
that's fair.
stats, it tends to be pretty close.
Yeah. Cool. So there you go, TMR and STMR. And then last but not least, the Hyo and Panthera Ultimus battle against Veritas of the Frost, attack and magic 170, with bonus attack and magic for fire, CW fire category units only, with boosted LB damage 100%, with killers 50%, and attack and magic 650, and ice and fire resistance 50%. All for fire category or all for CW fire category units only. So this is a lot like Richt's vision card, whereas his is only Clash of Wills characters, and this one is fire only.
So, like, automatically, we're giving this card to our IWFabz.
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
So, a note on between it and Richt, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is just a strictly better Richt card. Because guess what? Richt's card doesn't have killers on it.
Oh no, it doesn't. But it's also locked to a single element, and in fact, it's locked to a single type of that element. Only CW fire.
Right. What I'm saying though, like, you obviously want this for the fire units, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you are a fire unit, this is just a straight better Richt card, which I think it's cool because I don't want them to just power creep Richt's card because I think Richt's card is very good,
Mm-hmm.
like in general. Like, if they're gonna power creep it, this is a good way to power creep it without like causing a lot of feel bads, right? It's like, hey, this is only for fire, but if you're a fire unit, you also get killers. It's like, this is actually I look forward to more of these.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really cool. And also, you're not then like, let's say you don't happen to have 2 copies of EX3 Richt. Now you've got 2 cards that you can share between people. Yep. So now, worth noting, right? Vision card max level is 1. So they didn't specifically state it, earlier on, but that means he's premium. So we know we have at least 1 premium coming our way for Black Friday. So yay.
Yeah, they don't like to tell us a unit is quote unquote premium, but we know.
Yeah. They don't even call them that though. Like they don't really have a designation for it. They just, you got to read between the lines. So cool. Then they hit us with the absolute mirror of unexpected circumstances. We had a quick break.
Dang it, Gumi.
I wonder if we're gonna get 100 Lapis and some beast meat for this one. So there was that. And then we came back to looking at Veritas of the Frost. So they only showed 1 form for us here, which means SLB, right?
More than likely.
Yeah.
That's very likely.
How do you feel about this sprite, by the way, compared to the other Veritas of the Frost version that we have?
100
I think
times
this one's
better.
much better.
Yeah,
It's like night and day better.
I get the lore behind both Veritas armors, the one from Oxus's team and the ones that the Sworn 8 wear. It's just like I get the ones the Oxus's teams wear is much more traditional style.
Yeah.
These ones are much more florid.
Mm-hmm.
They got you can tell they're Palladian style technology that is trying to replicate the original armor that the Oxus wears.
Yeah. So I think this one looks really, really cool. Looks really dynamic with like the swirling energy and the ice shards and the colors. It looks a lot. I like this a lot better. So they showed us some abilities. The first one is arcane supplementation. So now we have 3 units in the game that have arcane supplementation. Chow, Dwayne, and now Solitary Warrior Veritas of the Frost. And so I don't think we necessarily need to go over it. I just think it's funny that now 3 units have like Dwayne's special thing.
That's my problem with it. I mean, it's good other people are getting it, but Dwayne finally had a niche, man, and now it's getting ripped from him.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it would have a different name that would fit more thematically with the character. It's like arcane supplementation sounds perfect for a Dark Knight user, but it doesn't sound right for a dog or Veritas of the Frost.
Right. I can see that for sure. They also showed us another ability, Icy Grasp, reduces defense and spirit 89%, ice resistance 150 for all enemies. This is 2 uses per battle, not locked specifically to morale content. I don't think they said. So we've got an 89 breaker with an ice imperil attached to it, and also another EX2 reward, an equipable ability. MP, attack, magic, defense, and spirit by 50%, ice resistance 50, LB damage 50, and reduce MP consumed by 20%. Sketch, you seemed like you would like this one, right?
Yeah. So this has MP on it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're gonna be taking Genesis to longer fight. Yeah, we're gonna take Genesis to longer fights.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have MP reduction on a 50% MP, which didn't exist in the game. So this just supplements Genesis lasting longer in fights.
Or
and
Tyvus.
now you'll never have issues. Huh?
Or Tyvus.
Oh, that's a good point. Actually, like this is great on Tyvus too, right?
Yeah, this is great on Tyvus.
Tyvus actually also has slight MP issues if you're using his non-meteor thing. So like this is actually like, okay, this is a better unit. This is probably better on Tyvus. Now that I'm thinking about it, with him having more MP uses, I was just thinking that like there are once in a blue moon you wouldn't have enough MP to use Leveless, but like when you're doing your other rotation stuff, yeah, no, this thing is so much better than Hio's in my opinion.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think this is the better ability of the 2 of them.
I'll say it again. Shut up and take my money.
Shut
I
up and
had
take
it.
my
Oh
money.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
they definitely will.
There's an annoying part about this post though.
Okay.
I really wish they would have told us how long the defense and SPR lasted.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I would assume
because-
the generic 3 turns.
so this unit's premium, and most of the other 89% breakers are not premium. So I'm kind of hoping it's more. But like, it would have been cool if they were just like, that would have actually added like a lot more excitement for me if they were like, hey, this is 4 turns.
Yeah. Just a little more information on screen. Yeah. Cool. Speaking of cool, we've got a leader skill here as well. So attack and magic 650, defense and spirit 200 for ice, CW fire, CW support, and then similarly 900 with 750 secondaries for ice, fire, and CW support and morale battles. So basically, just the ice version of Hyo's.
Yeah, no, like stuff like this existing is really cool. The first thing that comes to mind is, how high is Ayaka gonna be now? It's going to be way on up there. Like, if you told me that Ayaka was like top 4 now or something like that, I would completely believe you. Like 900% Ayaka is going to like obliterate somebody.
I mean, she was already fairly good, especially even out of Clash of Wills, she was pretty good at what she did. I think a lot of people's problems with Ayaka is just that she's got her one big smack, you know, and then otherwise, like, you're kind of like using her other stuff that's not as good. She was kind of the start of us starting to have abilities that only could only be used one time in Clash of Wills. So like, a lot of people don't like her for that, but I mean, I think that when you need it, it's there, and I think could be potentially pretty good.
Real question though. Real question here.
Does
this save our girl Freya?
Does anything save Freya?
Oh,
I mean, she'll have
No.
much higher stats.
I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but come on, our girl needs some love.
She does. She definitely does.
I mean, unless you just need that 25% team app, I don't know what to tell you.
It's a team amp with an imperil, with an imbue. It's a solid utility skill.
Let's give her crowns.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. And
Please don't get me started.
so here, I thought this was fun.
Crowns happen.
We've got an STMR ability, not a item or not a weapon, right? It's an ability. Indomitable Warrior, attack 100%, physical damage against demons and humans 100%, and boost equipment attack by 100% when armed with 2 one-handed weapons.
When I saw these, my biggest hope is that Frostlord isn't capped at 200% innately, because that would mean you would need to, well, not need to, but these would probably be your first 2 options, taking up 2 materia slots, or to use a weak accessory.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping if Frostlord gets 300, this will one of these will put him at 4, and then we're good to go.
Or like if he's got 200 and then like his trust passive is 100% and then this gives you 100, that'd be cool.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I
But he's
feel like
also,
he's mostly innately capped.
I would hope so, because he's premium, right? So like not all premiums do. Like Lightning's a good example of a unit that doesn't cap everything she needs just innately. But you know, I feel like the true dual wield ones do tend to cap a little bit easier. So
Yeah, that was just my concern, being that both of the trust are materia. I just didn't want to.
good
I just
point.
didn't kind of want it to be like both of the materials are somewhat necessary.
Ooh, so if both of his stuff is materias, what weapons do you think you want to give him? He's obviously an attack-based unit. You like just whatever's going to go along well with whatever like weapon imperils your party's bringing.
I would hope they update the Dark Lineage Frostlord. Didn't that have a katana?
He had a one-handed katana. Yeah.
Yeah, he does have the Dark Lineage Frostlord's STMR is a katana with a unstackable flat stat attack.
Okay.
And
Yeah, so I would like to see them
Even
update
though-
that and just make it usable.
That for sure, but also given Frostlord's lore of being a master of arms, I can see him kind of like Wild Rose Therian being able to use any weapon in the arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was actually going to harp on the same thing. Is just like this is the Furion comparison works very well. This is a very Furion-esque character. In Gilgamesh, things like that.
Mhm.
I also expect, even if they don't get bonuses for them, that their equipment options are probably going to be quite high.
I would think so.
On the materia section, I feel like they're probably going to be locked to using one of these because they both have it. They assume they like, hey, here's the TMR in case you don't have the STMR, and then you can replace it with the STMR. But this is actually really funny because we were talking about Kingdom Hearts off stream earlier, and the STMR is literally Riku's STMR if you take the true double hand off and add killers.
Mm.
And I still use that STMR.
Well,
That STMR is great.
hopefully you get this one then too. Very cool. Here is the vision card. So again, 170 attack. This one has 170 defense on it. Again, locked to level 1, so it's a premium vision card. And basically all the same stuff, except it's Clash of Wills category only. No killers on it, just stats and attack and defense, and LB damage. So this is more like Richt's, but just different stats.
Curious why they went with defense.
Because
I'm on the opposite side of it. I'm glad.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think that there's been some weird stuff lately, like the Dragon King in Darkness card is attack and or is like attack and spirit, doesn't have magic on it. The new Esper and E-Spear card is a little weird too. Like they're doing some interesting combinations of stats lately to make them less just for your DPS unit, I think.
Well, I like it because I guess the Mont card, it gives a lot more to it, like chain cap and stuff. But this is a good alternative for your Liliths and all of that too, who rely on defense instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this would be solid for Lilith.
And you guys are just spilling all my comments. I was just gonna say this is a Lilith card, right? It also makes your characters like way more survivable in Clash of Wills, right? If they continue to make things hard, like we obviously have the rotation of Clash of Wills, where like the last one is always like way harder, right? This could easily keep you alive. That is so much extra defensive stats that a DPS normally doesn't have. So if they have fixed attack, I mean not fixed attacks, but they have like unavoidable attacks of some point, then like uncoverable or unavailable or whatever, you could survive. Like, so they've been doing this kind of thing in JP a lot recently, like with the ice card not having attack on it, etc. And if they make hard content, these kind of cards are going to be preferable. Obviously people want the double damage cards because a lot of content it's a gear check, right? Like a damage gear check. But if they keep making hard content, having like defense and SPR cards is actually going to be very nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, looking at this, I mean, if you equip this card and you get the new meta Cal buffs, you're looking at over 1,300 defense easy just by equipping this.
Yeah, now that I actually noticed that this was limited to Clash of Wills in general, like, it makes a lot more sense to me. I thought it was kind of like the water premium card where it's attack and defense, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense for Tifa and Jack, but for the unit that released with Rose, it makes sense since he was a magic water user.
You know who this card would actually be really good on is Esther. Not that she's like
It actually would.
meta tier unit, but like how
There
many
you
times have you put a defense card on Esther because you need it for her survivability, because you're gonna use her as a tank, and then hoping that, like, you know, when on the burst turn I'm gonna use her to chain or something like that, and you want to just get as much damage as you can, like, but then because you're wearing a defense card your attack stats really bad, you know, like this is a good one for her. helps kind of give her what she needs in both forms. So
Yeah.
Really is.
Well, congrats
custom made
everybody.
for her.
congrats. Did we just steal all your comments?
No. This is a congrats. Gert works for Gummy and has now leaked that we are going to have an official winter Esther and crowns for the old Esther, and this is all. You're going to feel really bad when you don't have this, right?
Well, I am wearing the right
was with
hoodie
you
and
till you said
t-shirt,
crowns.
you know, for that job, you know.
Sketch, you had a believable little
crowns,
moment
save
till
them.
you said crowns. We don't get crowns around here.
Not for global units.
Yeah, I'll
Goodness
believe
sakes.
crowns when I see them.
Speaking of the other card, right? So they did highlight this card tonight on the live stream. So this is at level 10, Magic 170, Spirit 170. Again, just an interesting combination, but it's ice category units only. Like, you know, this would be a really cool card to put on like Olive, for example, to give her like a lot more spirit, but she's not ice. So like, boo, you know, not a whole lot of really good units that would want this. Like, you know, Ayaka maybe, but
This was literally just for Ayaka or
Regina maybe.
Bewitching Wish.
Regina, Ultimate Regina, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't really use Ultimate Regina at this point.
It's true. It's so true. Hey,
If
I'd used her as a leader skill
there's
before.
Elena.
Elena
If you just want to
would
find
be
someone to
good
put it on,
option
you have
too.
Elena.
Yeah, Elena would be good for this. Yeah, for sure.
Also something to remember, I'm pretty sure it's been mentioned around town, but just a reminder for people, according to the news in game, this will be summonable like the water card before it and the earth card before it.
Yes.
So you don't have to pull up on the step up to get this,
Nope.
according to the in-game news. So I just wanted to make sure people weren't misled. I mean, I don't want to say misled, that has a connotation to it, but I don't want people to misunderstand.
There's a banner for it, so you see it on a banner and you think, oh, I gotta pull on this banner to get this limited card. But yeah, it is definitely gonna be added to the pool, and I think they even said that tonight that it's gonna be added to the pool starting this week. So
Water card
Yeah,
doesn't exist.
they did.
water card
advertised.
does exist. Okay, I got one.
I got one too. I can prove it.
Yep.
The
I
only
got it.
card that is a myth is the win card.
Oh, true. I got the water card and I immediately put it on Chow because I was like, I want to see how much difference his stats are without his own like special card. And I was like, wait a minute,
Oh,
there's no magic on this stupid card. I didn't even notice that. Oh, so bad.
Like,
So bad. Oh, no, the card's fine. It's bad that it doesn't have magic on it. Because like otherwise you really want Chow's.
Yeah.
Definitely want Chow's card. More on that in a moment.
that card is strictly for your water attack units
Yep.
like Tifa
Mhm.
or your defensive units like Jack.
Mhm.
It will be a huge deal later because speaking of Tifa, she's one of the first units to get MV plus.
Mhm.
So like it might be her best card, to be honest with you.
Speaking
Depending on
of
what we
best
get.
cards,
Global.
this new vision card coming out on the 23rd, Biting Frost and Burning Flame, attack 140, but tons and tons of other good stuff. So 80% attack, 500 attack, LB damage 100, killers, ice resistance, fire resistance, 1000 attack for Hyo and Veritas the Frost. Like, this card is sick. The art on it is awesome.
yeah, first, the art is crisp, so I'll give them that.
Yeah.
The only unfortunate thing is, I mean, we get killers, so trade-offs, but it would have been nice to have true double hand or true dual wield on it. But other than that, it's something that people kind of overlooked on the Chow card is they think it's exclusively for Chow, like that's the only one who benefits. But this is still good for your generic attack units. You still get the 140, you still get the 80% attack, you still get the 500 flat, you still get 100% LB damage, and that's all unrestricted. So if you're gonna pull and you end up getting this card, just remember it's still good for pretty much every attacker anyway.
Yep.
It's just even better for Hyo and Frostlord.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think of these cards that they've done now with Ao and now with Hyo and Veritas of the Frost? Like,
think we've
I love
convinced them that we're
them.
gonna buy them.
I love them. It's just like saving up for them is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
So, I think like, on multiple fronts, I think it's like one of the best arts in the entire game. We'll start with that. But I think they're good because if you're pulling with Lapis on one of these, because you can't pull a card with tickets anyway. So like that argument's like completely gone. If you're pulling with Lapis on a banner, most people are going to be pulling on whatever the best step up, best for your money, and whatever is, right? If you're pulling for Lapis on a banner, you want the unit anyway. All this does is give you a direct upgrade to your unit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you're already excited for this unit that you're willing to spend Lapis on it anyway, this is nothing but upside. Also, if I hear one more person say that this kind of card is bad because it's on 140 like flat attack, I promise you you get way less than 1,000 attack for the 30 you lose. Like the 1,000 attack is going to make up way more stats than the 30 you use from the flat. Just going to throw that out there. But like I've heard so many people like, why doesn't this have 170? Like, what?
Try it and
Yeah, I
see.
think what worst case in Cal, you end up losing what 420 attack.
Yeah.
I would say that might not be exact, but that's the highest you would lose. So you're really not sacrificing much.
Yeah.
You're asking for 170 on the card. You're asking for the banner to cost more.
Yeah.
Also that.
So here's what I'll say about this though, right? So with Chow's card, you could buy the card for 28k, and because Chow was a time-limited Clash of Wills unit, his fragments were available in the VIP shop right away, and his Lapis replica fragments were available right away. So if you bought the card for 28k and then threw a couple tickets and grabbed a Chow, that's instant EX2. You got a very serviceable unit with a really great card for only 28k. Now, I personally was not that lucky. That did not work out for me. But theoretically you could. For a premium, this is not going to be the case, right? Like there's no way that you're going to get that lucky and have all the fragments and everything you need right away day one to get EX2 like you did with something like Chow. But I still think, if they're permanent additions to the game, right? They're permanently in all the pools forever. Buying this card now, knowing that sooner or later you're going to get these units, is potentially pretty good. With Chow, it made less sense, right? Because with Chow's limited, not going to be around. If you get the card and never get Chow, like you're out of luck with that bonus. But like with this, if they're permanently around, grabbing this now might not be the worst thing in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
And that's
Yeah, but that.
yeah. And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, and that's like definitely the difference between Cow versus Hio and Veritas, because it's I'm trying to think of the words there. The pressure between time limited exclusive units that you only see once a year versus something that's permanently in the pool that you could off banner here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a reminder, as Sketch was pointing out, again, if you're going to pull anyway, if you happen to grab this card along the way just for the presumed 28k, you still have this card that's generically useful for other attack units as its Chow is for other mages. So, I mean, don't be bummed out thinking the card is worthless now. It still has a use.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it sounds like we all like this card. Curious to see how the banner structure looks, but sounds like we're all in favor of the card. They gave us some tips. Here are some other fire and ice category units. I always love these. Other ice and fire category units that you might be able to combine with these other units. So, for example, Zaz and Genesis, or the other Veritas of the Frost and Supreme Deva Axstar, just as options, Do you guys like these, like where they give us like kind of like tips and suggestions, or do you feel like they're silly?
I try not to be that guy, but a lot of times I just laugh at it. In this case, it's not too bad. Well, I don't know about the ice side, but the fire side makes sense.
Yeah.
Ice side is definitely not best options
Right.
you could go with. Like, with Axstar, you want him for his finisher potential, but even then, he's not always worth the slot.
Mm-hmm. He's a trial killing machine, but at this point, if you're bringing him because you've got these other units, like, I feel like you don't need him, right? Like, if you're bringing him to go with the newest meta damage dealer,
he's not going to be your Dark Vision Ice Team unit.
Some people did use him though in the current Vision world, though.
Yeah,
I've seen some teams.
Yeah, he's definitely still a good unit, and I'm not gonna ask that for sure. Like, he's one of the best NVAs we've had in a long, long time.
Yep.
The Dark Lineage Veritas with the Frost, however, he is not that strong of a unit.
Yeah. But if you didn't know, now's your chance. You know, you really want Genesis to go with this team. Yeah.
Yeah, just to point out, if anybody has size in their box, let them just collect dust. Both of those listed things there are both part of his cooldown, and I believe there are 5 turns. So it's not like you have to do the area effect and then do some kind of LB or Grandis to get all of this going at once. This is all one cooldown. And if you have Melissa or Roka, something like that, you can speed it up and keep this on constant uptime if you so choose. But he kind of gets overlooked because he's not really putting out a bunch of damage. However, I just want to point out that he's really convenient for these fire and ice teams.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah, he's great.
Some other news they gave us, we're getting a global original story event about Hyo with his newfound kitty. And the things that they do. That comes out on the 23rd. How do you guys enjoy story events?
Yeah,
Very much so.
They feel like a grind when I'm doing them, but I appreciate them after the fact. It's cool to see.
Yeah. I miss the days where like story events actually had some challenge to them. Like, I feel like all the recent ones, like, they're all difficulty like 25 or lower, right? Whereas, like, you know, I feel like in the old days, like, the final stage actually had some bite to it. You had to, like, you know, really work at, like, trying to put a team together that was going to work well for it. And you usually had to kill the final boss with an Esper, which was always annoying. But, like, there was some thought that went into it. Whereas, like, now you just, like, bring the friend unit and auto attack. Like, and it's silly, but the story parts are usually
you're
really
talking
cool.
about, like, the old season 1 days.
I
Like,
am.
Metropolis, where we had to fight Dark Fina with Luca and Elle and
Hey, hold on. Why'd you have to emphasize that old so hard?
Hey, man, my knees hurt when I get up.
Feel young. Yeah, but I think that's just a victim of power creep because,
I think so too.
You know, if you want these story events to be accessible to everyone, you kind of have a choice. Either make it a challenge for the vets to appreciate or make it easy enough for the newbies to get in and get the stuff. So you kind of lose one way or the other.
I think, though, we're going to see that there is something there for us. Also, just as a reminder, you know, they give out special story event rewards for these. And they do say etc. So these 3 things plus more, maybe. And just don't forget that when we had the Esther event and the Vilk event, that you got an ability material that allowed you to use Chain Extreme Nova, which was time limited and locked. These are usually very unique stuff that come along with these like global original story events. So pretty cool. The helmet nullifies silence, which is kind of silly for a unit that does not use magic, but okay. Also gives you attack 50% when wearing fists or large swords and some evasion. Kind of cool. I like this ability though. Attack and magic 25%. Physical killers for humans, demons, machines. And magic 50% with killers against humans, demons, machines for Hyo and the shift form. So kind of a nice ability, I think, mainly for Hyo, but for everybody too, giving you multiple killers on a single ability. But this Indigo Keepsake is the coolest one, in my opinion. Defense and Spirit 30, 25% ice resistance, and a Guts effect. I like it.
Never have too many guts.
Yep.
as far as Hill's helmet goes, that might be a little nod to his OG form being able to cast magic. So if you want to use that for chaining for some reason, maybe that's why that's there.
I guess.
As far as these go, as I tell everyone else, I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Oh, my bad. As far as these go, just as I tell everyone else, please, if it's free and if it's not a headache to grind, please just go get it. You never know when some of this free stuff could be useful, especially for to change the future. Because if you end up pulling Hill later, 75% killers, 75% to the stats. I mean, it's hard to beat that.
Could be useful in the upcoming Clash of Wills. Demon Human Machine.
Just saying.
Yeah, it's a thing. If it's not nailed down, take it.
Excited.
I don't know.
Excited for more lore finally.
The
lore master shows up.
Yes, there he is.
I just
guys.
No, but I just
go for it.
There we
go. Go ahead.
It's just flashes of, whenever I see things that get skipped in older events and then suddenly they pop up in a bunch of clears now, then everyone's throwing a fit because that event was boring or it was grindy or such and such.
Oh yeah.
That's why I always try to just stress to people, please, if it's free, if it's not going to just consume your life, please just get it.
So this was something cool.
I'm sorry, YinToYang, go ahead.
I'm just saying, guys, you haven't seen the lore master yet. I got the cork board, the red strength papers. I go full Charlie from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
If we go into a deep lore dive.
Yep. So this is cool, I think. They said in the global original story event, there's a hidden difficulty where if you unlock certain conditions during the last battle, it's going to give us a hidden difficulty. Now they said that you don't get any special rewards for doing the hidden difficulty. Just that it was kind of like bragging rights. I'm cool, I did it. But that they said they were curious to see how many people could do it. And I think that's neat. Makes me wonder what the conditions are going to be.
Love this personally, as it reminds me of when we had Kulfasanis. That was a fight where it brought the entire community together to either figure out how the mechanics work, figure out what teams everybody could use to make clears in by the community to obtain as many of the community rewards as possible. This feels like a light callback to that.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about it is if I understood them correctly, they said that there will be no rewards attached to this. This is just going to be an extra challenge for us to do, correct? There we go. That makes it all the more, because I would hate for something to be limited and then people have to miss out on exclusive rewards on an extra difficult challenge just because they felt like throwing it in there. So to make this just something fun to do, I'm already loving it.
Yeah, let's have some fun with events, right?
If this is trial level, I'm going to be so happy because we used to long time ago. Story events had the EX levels with the trial level boss fights in them.
That's what I was talking about.
Level period.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were. That's what I was going to say. It's like you were saying before. This is such a cool thing.
I don't want to just auto attack stuff.
I just hope.
Correct.
Yeah, I hope it's not like the trial difficulty is of Aranea, where we had to use a full evade Fetus and just have him auto attack for over 200 turns to survive to get the reward.
Yes. It'll be exciting to see what this looks like. Speaking of things that I'm usually excited to see what they look like, the next thing they showed us was Clash of Wills. So here's the boss, the War Machine of Unknown Origin, Lynx XO5. He's a big old green robot. Machine, human, demon, weak to fire, ice, water, and light. What do you guys think of the boss's sprite here?
Transformer.
It definitely looks like a transformer.
Robots in disguise.
So the boss's name, Lynx X05. There's usually some sort of pun or etymology, to the boss's name. Can you think of anything that this might be referring to?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Wasn't there a computer called a Lynx or something like that?
Link's computer.
Linux?
No, hold on, I'm looking
Yeah.
it up. XO.
There was Link's computer services. The links can also be a reference to the fact that with Yo's release with Ultimate, it
here-
could be referring to the Link's cat.
Here we go. Lynx is a constellation, and XO5 is a star in that constellation.
Would have never
It
guessed
really
that
is
ever.
Transformers.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's actually a throwback too, because all the Chamber of Arms bosses were based off of constellations as well.
Yeah, that was cool to
Huh.
look into.
We're just throwback and
That's
throwbacks. So there
And
you
if
go.
I'm not mistaken, I think their orbs had the constellations on them, didn't it?
They did.
Yeah, they did.
It was super cool.
Oh, God, I loved looking up the origins and studying the history of all the Chamber of Arms bosses.
Yep. War Machine of Unknown Origin uses non-elemental physical attacks and fixed damage, adds fire element to its attacks, inflicts various status ailments, reduces the party's ability to heal. Be careful what elements you hit it with, because if you do the wrong thing, it counterattacks you. Obviously, Hyo and Veritas are going to help you out with the right elemental weaknesses, and imbue your allies with fire to attack the boss with fire weakness every turn. So, yay. So it's telling us it sounds like we want a physical tank here. Primarily.
Makes sense to me.
So,
Like just think about it. Physical tank, bricked version of physical tank card.
Mm-hmm.
You go get your EX3, your physical tank card, put on your Lilith or your Runda or whatever you want to take.
Or your
Like-
Esther.
Oh yeah, or your
Because she buffs
Esther.
Machine Killer and Demon Killer.
Yeah, that's
she
better.
Also have the machine mitigation. in
Mm-hmm. She does have
her
machine
tank
mitigation.
form.
Yep.
Ooh, Esther's gonna be really good here. That's cool.
Wrong element, but doesn't matter when you've got somebody who can imbue the party with AoE 100% amp.
Bunny Girl's making a comeback.
Yeah.
Satyrs gonna be happy.
You get the field too.
You do get the field. Yep. So, seems cool. But I'd like to see some Lilith clears here as well.
It would work
Oh,
well.
if Lilith can
since
work, I'm
the-
running her.
Yeah. Who doesn't like? I enjoy using
Yeah,
Lilith. Like I don't like her for her mitts, but I enjoy her just for her all the stuff she can do. So
So
Yeah, the boss is dark weakness, isn't it?
ice, fire, water, and light.
Yep, never mind then.
Yep.
something of note on the Clash of Wills boss.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis has all three of those killers.
Indeed. Thank
Here
you.
he goes.
Thank you for that news bulletin sketch.
So does Spaz as well,
It's
I
free.
believe. So
It's free real estate,
Oh.
guys.
It is. It is.
Also of note, Atlanta has type mitigations for demon and human, so throw
Mhm.
that in there.
Yep.
yeah, so she'll be. But
Yeah.
she's magic tanks that way.
But you could bring her for a leader skill or just like a damage dealer. And
Mhm.
utility
But
character.
having those type mitigations makes a world of difference. That was the entire difference on being able to survive Anthemosa or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and the 90%
Ooh.
mitts.
Ooh,
It's
that
been
makes me
too
think
soon-
about
it's still too soon.
Oh, my bad.
that's also true. That makes me wonder, what were the typings on Ellis Beerus's card? Because that could be huge too.
Ellis Spears.
Dragon Machine and Reaper? Let me-
I
Let
think
me
it was
check.
Dragon
Well, do you know the
Machine
name of the
Reaper.
card?
No, I can just look up Ella Spears real quick.
I got it.
But-
Spears.
Oh, did
That,
you mean the one from her Awakenings or from the Step Up?
No, the one
I'm
on her
talking
actual
about
vision
the
card.
mitigation one. The mitigation one.
It is
think it's the
machines,
same
humans,
one.
dragons. So that's for the whole party. So somebody wearing that card would be able to give you 5 turns of the 30% mit
Yeah, that's
for double race.
10%. That's 10%. Like depending on how hard this guy is, which he may or may not be. 10% flat mit to the party at the beginning could be like the difference between you living and the run being successful. So if you have Ella Spears' card, that's something you might want to test out.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm gonna have a hard time then. I don't have anything Ella Spears related.
Oh, I got her just off of a random ticket recently. Oh no, it was a 110 Neo. Yeah, I got her. I was pretty excited about it. All right,
I love
so
how literally today I got the final unit I'm missing out of all the CG units, and then Hio's announced that I'm like, damn it, now I'm one short again.
the one you were missing was I can't
World
remember.
Wayfarer Bart.
That's right, you were missing Bards. That's right. So here's the real question: what color fire do you think this boss is going to have swirling around it on level 99?
After our tease reveal, I'm guessing pink at this point. It's like we're just all inning on that image we couldn't figure out.
Pink maybe, but Hiroki did have kind of purpley colored hair. Maybe purple, like always.
Probably.
And also, do we think the robot's going to change colors? Is it going to be green all the way to level 99, or is it going to change and like get spikes and stuff on it? Like who knows? Who knows?
Hey, it imbues
Some
itself with
kind of,
fire. It might go red on us.
That would be
He'll
cool.
kind of get some kind of Decepticon upgrade at the final form.
I like it. They also talked about some potential changes to Clash of Wills, where there's like a powered up state or a weakened state for the boss. So they're saying, of course, this is still like under development, but like basically certain conditions might make the boss more powerful. This makes me think that like if you let the boss's morale get too high, it just gets stronger and kills you that much faster. But maybe it's something else.
I was thinking it more like the triggering system, like how we have the rules of you need to inflict certain amounts of elemental damage of a specific type to prevent the boss from doing something. I think it'll be this, like if you don't do X amount of fire damage for this turn, the boss might enter its powered up state, or if you do X amount of this damage, the boss will enter a weakened state for 2 turns, letting you get your setup for your burst turn.
That could be cool. Could also be a headache, but it could be cool.
Oh, if you want a headache version of this, what if it's based off your morale at the start of the fight? So if you don't have a team full EX3s, it's like, all right, congrats, it starts in the powered up state.
Ugh, that would be awful.
Don't give them ideas.
Yeah.
Come on.
Seriously. Either way, it's always neat to see that they're still working on thinking of ways to change it and make it more interesting. I'm glad to see that. So that's cool. And then we came to the popularity poll. So I've just got I went ahead and took a screenshot of all 5 of the winners here, and they showed us that. So let's start at the bottom, right? How do we feel about Dark Reign being on this popularity poll?
Shout out to EMK.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lady M is disappointed, but here we are.
I'm surprised that he's so low, honestly. I'm not surprised that he's here. I'm surprised he's at 5. Ayaka really surprises me. Only because we already have like 2 versions of her that are Neovision's base.
I think this one was more of a nostalgia vote.
Limited.
Yeah.
I think this was more of a nostalgia vote. Just she was our first OP healer, and unfortunately, the OP healer days are behind us. So I don't know what they would do with her, but I think that's why she's there.
Yeah.
I'm more impressed that Aldi is there because there's one of two situations. I need to see if, first of all, is Aldi the first choice to vote on the popularity contest? Like at the top, the first thing you can select. I want to know that because there are some lazy people out there.
No, she's not. No, she's not, but she is fairly close to the top. It is all in alphabetical order.
If he's not first, then cool. Second, I'm super hyped about this, even though I don't know if Aldi's going to get a unit. Because I said Wilhelm is, I don't know if they'll give Aldi one or not. The thing is, we had a discussion on one of the Beige carpets a long time ago of the units that got skipped. And this was on my list of ones that I wish that we got the unit of because the sprite is really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And I hope that they actually get a unit.
Now,
that would be so cool.
We never had a unit for Aldi, but we did see the character, right? Yeah.
Yes, we've seen her in one of the vision cards that you can get with any of your Neo Vision pulls. She was a skipped unit from the skipped story event. It was a season 3 story event, but spoiler, it's not related to season 3 directly.
Wasn't it? I think somebody said in chat it was the I can't remember the name of it.
Chamber of Arms boss.
Chamber of Arms boss, like Aldefair or something like that.
He's related to the Chamber of Arms boss, Elnath.
Elnath, that's right. Elnath.
Who we also did not get his 5-star unit for.
Right.
Because of the skip story event.
Right.
Alde is the daughter of the scientist who created Elnath. And if you know the lore of Elnath's backstory, like his tragedy, he was forcibly reprogrammed to kill his creator and the village that he protected. And Alde was the lone survivor of the massacre.
Okay.
And he's like Kaito. She doesn't talk much wherever she goes, but he's dressed completely in black because she is still in mourning of the massacre, and nobody knows if, like, she's completely driven by revenge, but nobody knows if her revenge is directed towards the person who reprogrammed Elnath or Elnath himself.
Something else worth noting on Aldi, a good time to release her. She's a firebreaker. Just gonna throw that out there. She was a 4-star firebreaker. Like, let's do it. More fire. You know what? We're just on the fire meta.
More
half
fire
the units
stuff.
we're gonna get from now. Half the units we get are just gonna be fire going forward. JP's anniversary water. Nah. For Global's anniversary, we're getting 1000% fire leader. Like, it's like, what's this water thing? What's these other LVS? Like, it's all fire. They're gonna give Genesis crowns for our our anniversary that gives him like double MP or something. Like, I don't know, man.
That's gonna be silly.
See, you can even say that with a straight face.
We'll believe it when we see it.
Yeah.
I love fire so much.
Wilhelm is a unit that I have, for whatever reason, has never pulled very many copies of. Like, ever. Like, I got his STMR for the first time, like, in the last 2 years. Like, it's crazy.
Wilhelm's been a meme in the community for like a really long time, where people always like, I want swimsuit Wilhelm for like years.
Yes, we want swimsuit Daddy Wilhelm because we have enough booba to fill this community with a sea of it.
Right.
Like, come on, we want more men, we want more husbandos. There's actually quite a few LGBT members in our FFBE community that want a few male units. Like, want some male fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like that.
Wilhelm was the original daddy meme.
it was like a big thing that like for the community for like a long period of time where they were like joking and memeing about that. But I could say like as somebody that's been playing for like close to day one, like you want to give me like a Wilhelm that's the best physical tank in the game, I'll gladly accept it. That's like a massive nostalgia throwback.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Barry, Barry big on Wilhelm. Like I have multiple friends that were like, "Oh, this is like super cool. I hope he's a tank." Now they can make him a DPS. I don't know if people would like that as much, but like they make a like, new best physical Clash of Wills tank Wilhelm. Like people are going to eat that up. That's going to sell.
Especially if it's
We
like
can pitch it to Gumi this way. We can basically just tell them to give us a slightly improved and updated Lilith, different elements, different killers. Boom, we're good to go.
yeah, like
100%.
like Runda Clash of Wills version with actual kit.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. So,
Ship it.
like, I gotta ask, guys, with the results of the poll, who did you actually vote for?
None of these units. Not a single one. I voted for Soleil and Mercedes, and you got 3 votes, right?
Yeah.
I think I voted.
Right.
I think I voted for Ong as well, just to try and help Barry out. But yeah.
I went with Lunera, Ruggles, and Soleil.
Okay.
And you, Sketch?
Lunera, Lauren, and Folka. I'm pretty sure that's who I voted for. But I will say something that's really funny is if we got 5 that all day would have actually been on my list. I just thought there was actual 0% chance any of the JP units were winning.
Mm.
So like that's really cool. I mean, she would have been number 5.
For me, my 3 were Sid, because it's my absolute favorite character in the entire game. I voted for Mercedes for SXM
Mm-hmm.
because girl deserves her main girl, and Mercedes was a cool character.
Mm-hmm.
And third, I voted for Lila.
Okay.
I chose Lila because I remember way back on some of our old live streams we used to watch, Shali used to mention that Lila was her favorite FFBE original character, and I thought, you know what? Lila would be great to see come back, like the first spirit damage dealer.
So for the Sid, do you want like a normal Sid or you want a Veritas Sid?
I want normal Sid. I want my daddy. Like, as much as
Okay.
I love Veritas of the Heavens, I want my daddy on the roster.
That's fair.
Cool deal. Now I'm gonna give YinToYang a moment here because, yeah, I'm just gonna pop this on the screen. Tell us about this picture, YinToYang.
So when I first saw the results for the second popularity poll, I was screaming internally that we were going to get another rain. And half of it was like jokingly, I wanted to create this, but half of it was also seriously, because reading the results, I was half thinking like nobody was really looking through all 256 units, which in all honesty was a very messy setup to begin with. But I asked my best friend Izzy, who is like one of the most talented artists I know. Like, he is a master of Tetsuya Nomura's style, and has refined it into his own style. And just asked him if he could make the Batman slapping meme with me slapping the community over the fact that we have rain at the top of the vote.
Yep. Well, I like it. We do not need a 17th copy, but I think we're all pretty excited about what we are getting, you know. And they also said,
Like, originally when discussing it with Izzy, we thought like maybe instead of just generic white guy with the post-it note saying FFB community, it was going to be actually Rain we were slapping.
I like that too. I think though that we're all pretty excited about Hyo, and they also said that because we're already doing Hyo, that they're just going to go ahead and do Wilhelm. So, pretty excited.
So in essence, Wilhelm won.
Wilhelm's the winner. You know, let's call that what it is.
I'll admit, I was out here with the Rain slander, but for it to be Hyo, I don't know why. I actually kind of like it. I'm upset with the voting results, but I still kind of like that Hyo's coming. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, Hyo was a very popular part of Season 2's storyline. It was the whole hero takes the dark turn storyline that always done to the tropiest effect possible, and we literally had Rain go full Darth Vader with the design alone.
And if you don't recall, we rated his limit burst very, very highly in our video where we talked about that. So,
oh yeah, he was our first S rank.
He was
sort of the original GLBs because it was just so iconic to watch him unleash that pillar of fire into the sky and part the sky with it.
He was also one of the first memes that I remember for the game, right? It was always like hashtag save for Hyo, like in every comment ever. So,
and then Esther came along.
Yep. Then Esther
was it Esther? Was it Esther that came that threw Hyo to the curb, or was it like
Zeno
Olive or something?
I can't remember.
Zeno.
I remember Zeno was really, really up there for a long time. Anyways, we digress. Last thing they showed us on stream was that I actually took a picture of was the producer present. So they were giving us 2,000 Lapis, a Transcension Pearl, bonus present ticket, some Gil, and some Turtle or some Metal Minitars. Make sure you log in and claim it. They also played some mini games with Tony, and that's how we got the producer present of them stacking coins on their edges. And it was, it was fun. And that was your live stream. So what did you guys think? I mean, Sketch said that you said Sketch this was like one of the best live streams that we've had since the anniversary. Like, what did you feel like made it so good? And then we'll kind of wrap up on this comment.
All right. So like when you one thing before I get to that is like super short.
Yeah.
You know that you get all that stuff next week and not this week.
It said. Let me go back to it. It says 11/23.
Yeah. So like, you don't get this tomorrow. Don't freak out if it's not in your inbox. Just so people know. But yeah. So I feel like when it comes to FFBE, people get excited for the units, whatever you're into, whatever units you like, and those are going to make or break your time periods in the game. For me, not only did this have a lot of hype because Season 2 is my favorite, these are characters that I like. Like, there was just a lot of information. I thought they handled the explanation of what happened with the compensation stuff, like, very well. I think that they were very forward and they gave us, like, it wasn't a lot of, like, static, a lot of filler garbage, right? Like, there's a lot of good information in this, and I just felt like it was a very high quality stream. And then for me personally, I think it might be the celebration that I'm most excited for that they've done this year. Like, if you want to call like their big things with the rookie celebrations or whatever, like other games do. Because I'm excited for both these characters, and I have extremely high expectations because like I know people aren't the biggest on premium, and like I skip most things that I'm not interested in, so like it's easier for me to like pick and choose for things. But because they're premium, I have very high expectations on what their kits can be, right? We could have fully fleshed out very good kits, right? So I'm really excited to see what they do. Like, it's either these two or Malphacy for the year for me. So
yeah. Any other thoughts from you guys, either Fabs or YinToYang?
for some reason the stream did hit a little better, but I can't put my finger on why that is. As far as the as far as having Hiroki come out, I do appreciate that he himself came out to give the explanation behind everything. It does kind of set a different tone. Granted, you know, personally, I feel like it's kind of more their hand was forced, but nonetheless, he still personally came out, put himself on camera, and talked to us directly. So I would always appreciate that versus, you know, throwing Justin or Tony to the wolves and hoping nobody bites their head off. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's Hill specifically. I didn't doze off through the units like I have been lately.
Yeah.
I mean, all in all, it was better than usual. I don't know exactly what it was. I mean, maybe it's no shade to Justin, but maybe it's just having Hiroki and Tony there was a better dynamic. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
YinToYang?
For me, like, this was definitely one of the better live streams. It felt livelier, to put bluntly. I haven't felt like the last stream I felt excited for was the Parasite Eve live stream because not only like my personal bias towards my enjoyment of that franchise, but just what I enjoy most with these live streams when they put the right effort into it is the little things like explaining why they went with Yo, what they did to make Pantera Ultimate design work and complement Yo. Like, I like that those little things within the live stream that bring the work that's put into the creation of these units to life, instead of it just being like, here's the new unit, it's new, it's shiny, it's Yo, it's everybody's favorite character from season 2. Instead, what we get is why we went with Yo, why we did this, why we created this for him, why we're going with this. And like, one of the biggest things I was curious about as soon as I saw the announcement for Yo and Pantera Ultimus was that Yo's CGLB was in English, and I immediately went to Twitter and started asking Clifford Chapman, famously known for voice roles like Bakugo from My Hero Academia, who plays Yo in War of the Visions, if he is reprising his role for this CGLB. And no answer, sadly, but it makes me excited for small things like that, like when they call in the actors who give these characters life.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was overall a much better stream despite the absolute mirror of unforeseen circumstances.
It happens. Yeah, I actually had a lot of fun watching it. I feel like the last several, other than Parasite Eve, I feel like it was just like we were, you know, either let down by leader skills or let down by, you know, what information we got, or just didn't seem like that exciting. Or like last month was like really like, why is Chow a Halloween unit? Like there were just lots of things that were just like really weird. And this one just, I feel like the energy was up, the excitement was there. The information was better. The communication was better. I just feel like all in all, this was a smash hit. I wish they had told us in advance that it was coming, rather than dropping it on us this morning or yesterday morning, because now it's after midnight. But like, you know, still, I think it was really good. I had a lot of fun watching it. I had a lot of fun talking about it with you guys. You guys are great.
Best FFBE content there is.
Appreciate you guys coming hanging out with me for almost 2 hours.
Future ones.
What was that?
I hope to be able to make future ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to have you guys here and hang out and riff.
Yeah. Oh, it's always great.
Yeah, I'm glad I got
I'll
to
be
come
sure
back.
to-
Sorry. Oh, there I go doing it again. I was just about to apologize for bumping into your head all the time, Yin. But
No, I just like jumping in. Like I'm having so much fun.
I agree. I think this is not even specifically beige carpet, but just being able to interact with people about this thing that I spend a lot of time on and care a lot about. Like it's just fun, and that's why I kind of like doing like the discussion type stuff. So really appreciate you guys hanging out, and for everybody else who's just been watching for almost 2 hours, I appreciate you hanging out and everything like that. So we'll be back, you know, for normal scheduled stuff probably next week when we get some content, or at least some news about upcoming content, because the next news we'll probably get is on Tuesday of next week, and that's just the way it is. But until then, I hope you guys all take good care of yourselves. Everybody out in YouTube land, take good care of yourselves as well, and we will see you. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
yeah, thanks again for having me.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night.